Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, happy Tuesday, everyone. We are back. We're going to be doing some GED math today. If you know anybody struggling to pass the GED, share this live out with them. Don't forget to double tap that screen. And let's get started. I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday so far. Hey, Iris. Hello, hello. Hey, Queen J. Hi, hun. All right, so number 1. Which of the following is the number 316.72 written in scientific notation? Oh, do we have A, B, C, or D? What are you guys getting for number 1? B? Hey, Couture. Okay. So B, C. All right. So let's look at it. Remember, scientific notation says I have to have only one digit. So I have to move this over twice because I have to have one digit before it and then I can have some digits after it, but only one digit before it. So this is going to be 3.1672. All right, times 10 to the, now how many spaces did I move it over? Well, I moved it over 2 spaces, and it's a positive 2. This is how I train my brain to think about it. It's positive. It's a positive 2 when you're coming from this direction. If the zeros are before it, before the number, then it's negative. Okay, so B is the answer. Great job. All right, let's go to number 2. Pluto is 5,914,000, or is that billion? That's billion, kilometers from the sun. This distance can be written in scientific notation as, are you getting A, B, C, or D? Hey, Anna. B-A. Hey, Nicole. So we got A. User said D. Okay, we kind of all over the place on this one. All right, so remember, after every whole number, there's a decimal, okay? So the decimal's actually here. Remember, we have to get it all the way to here. So there's only really 2 that have this, 5.1914. So anything that doesn't have that is not even an option. Okay, so really I have a 50-50 chance now. Now remember, you have to count how many spaces did it take you to move it to here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So B is our answer. You just count the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any questions on that one? Thank you, Bro Jackson, for the follow. Any questions on that one? Yeah, okay, V, I didn't see the decimal. Yes, yep. So you got to just know after every whole number, put that decimal there. All right, let's go to number 3. It says, for what 2 values of X is the following numerical expression undefined? All right, so first we got to understand what this means, right? Do we understand what undefined means is the question. Good. Anderson? Yep, Nicole, what's your question? No? Okay, good. Okay, so undefined means where the number in the denominator will go to 0. So undefined means this has to be a 0. So what they're asking us is, what can we plug in for x here to make this go to a 0? Does anybody know? Hey, T. Just Clean. Hey, Just Clean Chemistry. 5, 5. K said 5. Okay, beautiful. Yes, 5. Okay, so 5 will. So we have 5 squared minus 25. 5 times 5 is 25. Minus 25 will give us 0. But hold up. So we know x is going to equal 5. But it said 2 values. Does anybody know the other one? Thank you for the double taps, you guys. Hey, Dolores. T said 2, 10, 0. Okay, so this one is trying to trick you. Oh, okay, I just saw somebody put it in there. What type of factoring is this? Somebody just put it in there. Remember we were talking about this yesterday when we have a minus sign and we have perfect squares? It's a difference of squares. So really, we can write this as x plus or minus. And then what times itself? Well, 5 times 5. Now, this is the one that you guys thought about. We plugged in a positive 5, or this one you thought about. But we have to also have this one set equal to 0. So when we have this one set equal to 0. So when we solve this for x, we're going to minus 5 to both sides. Well, x can also be 0 minus 5 is a negative 5. Because it could be a positive 5 or a negative 5 will work and still cause this to go to a 0. Any questions on that one? Yeah, Kay said negative 5. Good. Yes, it has to be a negative. Thank you, DB, for the follow. What about the 12x? The 12x is irrelevant in this question because it only asks for what 2 values of x would cause it to be undefined. So see, once you understand that undefined means it's causing a 0 in the denominator, the numerator does not matter. Okay, no worries, Anna. So this is factoring. So undefined means what are the 2 numbers that x can be to make this equal to 0? So that's why when we factored them, because this is a difference of squares, a plus and a minus, we can set each of our parentheses equal to 0. So we set this equal to 0 and solve. And you guys already set this one. When we set this one equal, how do we get x by itself? What's the opposite of this? Add 5. So we get x equals 5. So like we said, we either have a positive 5 we can plug in to get a 0 or a negative 5. Yep, perfect. Okay, let's keep it pushing. So I'm going to bring it all the way back down. Number 1 says, remember this is for the GED, you guys. I usually write it on top. So if you know anybody struggling with a what am I writing? GED. Share this out for them. So how many units is H from 0 on the number line below? Are you getting A, B, C, or D? B, D, D. Ooh, B, B, B. Okay, I see those B's coming in. Okay. Okay, so let's first start with which side are we on in the number line? Are we in the positives or are we in the negatives? First, put that in the chat. Are we in the positives or are we in the negatives? Where is H at? In the negatives. Negatives. Hey, sweet Kelly. Negative, negative. Yes. So if we just look at the number line and we know it's in the negative, then C and D can't even be an option. Now we have a 50-50 chance. Do we see our answer now for the people that were saying D, B? Okay, so it is here. This is -3, and it is a half. It's in the middle between -4 and -3. B is our answer. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 2. Simplify. Square root or cube root of -1000 minus 3 squared. Does anybody know the cube root of this? Yeah. 1, 10. Good. 10 power. Good. Yes. So this is, well, you could ask yourself, what times what gives us 1,000? Well, 100 times 10 does. And then 10 times 10 does. Okay, so there's 10 times 10 times 10. And then a negative is really -1 times -1 times -1. So since we're taking out threes, we're looking for groups of 3. Really, we have -1 times 10, which is going to give us -10. Okay, so -1 times 10 is just -10, you guys. Minus, okay, what does this give us here? Put it in the chat. What's 3 to the second power? 9, 9. Yes, 9. Okay, so then for my integer people, what do I get here? What's my final answer? Yep, because remember, we don't ever do 3 times 2. No, no, no. We do 3 times 3. Remember, this power of 2 means you multiply it twice. The base twice. Good. 19 negative. 2 negatives make a positive. But when do 2 negatives make a positive? That is the question. 2 negatives only make a positive when we are multiplying or dividing. Never when we are adding. When we are adding negatives, it gets more negative, and we have -19. Yes, because this is like somebody borrowed $10 from you, guys, and they say, oh, can I get 9 more? Well, they go owe me 19, right? Good. Okay, T. T said the next one is 12 over 40. Okay. Oh, I love it. So, T is 100% correct. But they're going to say, they would say simplify. They would say simplify. So, can we simplify anything before we multiply? Can we cross cancel anything? Is 1/2? Oh, number 3 is 1/2. No, no. 4 and 8. Blanca, let's go. Yes, the 4 and 8. So what do 4 and 8 have in common? What number do they both have in common, the 4 and the 8? I see 3/10 coming in. The 4. Yes. We can divide this by 4 and we can divide this by 4. Well, 4 divided by 4 goes to a 1. 8 divided by 4 goes to a 2. Now, 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. And we get that 3/10, like you guys were saying, in the chat. Go ask Daddy. Perfect. Yep. Oh, because remember, you're not adding here, you're multiplying. Hey, Bubbles. All right, we got some more fractions to work on. All right, so you guys try number 1. Put your answers in the chat. What do you get for number 1? Okay. All right, I see 1 and 1/2. Okay. Well, keep, change, flip. We're going to keep this 9/10. We're going to change this to multiplying. And we're going to flip this 5/3. Now the question is, can I simplify anything? Before I'm just multiplying straight across, can I simplify anything? Put it the numbers that you see that you can simplify. Yes, yes. No? Okay. The 5 and the 10. Let's go. Some people are saying 5 and 10. Some people are saying 9 and 3. So, 9 and 3 have a 3. 5 and 10 have a 5. 9 divided by 3, that's 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Times 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. Well, 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. And we get 3/2. Now, most times, I'm trying to think, for the GED, I think they have you change it to a mixed number. I don't think they allow you just to leave it improper. So we would have to divide this 2 into 3. How many 2's can fit into 3? 1 whole. And then we would have 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract. Have a remainder 1 over what we're dividing by. So like you guys said, 1 and 1/2. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Number 2. How do I even set this up, right? How is anybody looking at number 2 and just totally like, ugh, I don't even know where to begin. Simplify the 12/10. Me? Okay. Yep. Yes. I love it. The honesty, right? But I like what Kay said. Kay said, let's simplify the 12/10. Okay, Kay, what are we going to simplify it? How do we simplify it? What are we going to reduce it by? Yes, it's Nadia. Yep. If you guys need tutoring, you can email me at impactmath at gmail.com. And I gotcha. All right. So, does anybody know what we can simplify by? Remember, even over even, at least we can always take out a 2 when it's even over even. So we can get 6 over 5. Okay, so now I have 2/9 over 6/5. I don't like writing it like this. This gives me like, oh, right? Like I'm stressing it like this. This gives me like, oh, right? Like I'm stressed out. So what I have to do is I have to write it old school way. So I have to go 2/9. This bar is the same thing as division. And then I know that this is 6/5. Okay, I can start breathing a little bit. Right? We can start breathing a little bit. We just did division up there. We know we gonna keep it, change it, flip it, right? Keep, change, flip. Try to have that song in your head. Keep, change, flip. Okay? So we're keeping this 2/9. We're gonna change this to multiplication. And we gotta flip. 5 over 6. Okay. Now what we got to do? I love it. Original, I'm going to be posting this on my YouTube page, Impact Math 19. So you can follow me over there and they can watch all the replays. Straight across, multiply across. Okay, good. Maria said the 2 and the 6 have something in common. I only teach reducing. I always try to teach my kids as early as possible to cross simplify, because when they get into like algebra 2 and they're doing all this factoring and they have to do rational fractions, it's all about seeing what you have on top, what you can cancel. So the better that they are seeing this, what you have on top, what you can cancel. So the better that they are seeing this, when it's just one number, when you get to the complicated level, you've already trained your brain to see cross cancellation, and it just becomes so much easier for the students when they get to the next level. So 2 divided by 2 is going to be a 1. 6 divided by 2 is a 3. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 times 3 is 27. Now, for those who didn't cross simplify, you would have got 10. And then 9 times 6 would have been 54. And then you would have had to divide by 2 to both of those. Like we did here. Any questions on that? Thank you, Erica, for the follow. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. I see we're at 4.5K. Can we make it to 5K taps? This is just cross multiplying, dividing fractions, but cross simplifying. All right. Thank you, Bella, Miss Lady. Okay, let's do number 3. I see we made it to 5K over 5K. Thank you, you guys. Okay, where are we starting? I always say let's work from left to right. Does anybody see anything that can cancel out right away? KT said, I'm just multiplying. I get 24 over 60. I love it. Now, can you give me the reduced fraction, though? The 3 and the 3. Yes. Lacole said the 2 and the 4. Beautiful. Some people, see, yep, Katie said 2 and 4 as well. So I see 3 and 3, because 3 divided by 3 goes to a 1. But I look over here and yes, set me up all day. 4 over 4 is a 1 too. So what do I have left on top? Well, I only have a 2. only have a 5. And do you see how much time? This is what I mean when I say it's important to teach this. You see how much time that took? Look, it would have took us 2 times 6. Okay, 2 times 3. That would have gave us 6, right? Then we had to do 6 times 4. That would have given us 24. Then we would have had to do 3 times 12. And then hopefully we know 12 times 5, right? Some of us do, some of us don't. Okay, we got a 60. Then we would have had to divide, right? So when you're on a time crunching test, the better you get at simplifying across, it just saves you time. Okay? Oh, no, you're good, Nicole. Yes. 2/5. So we trying to save all the time for these word problems, right? Because those are like, whew. Okay, so number 1. 1 1/3 times 3/8. Okay, I was working with my 3rd grader. No, he's 4th grader. I was working with my 4th grader. And, once, when you're old and you learn a certain way, and then you're like, okay, so you got to do this step and you got to, okay, so let's do this. I want to do this one 2 different ways. Okay. I want to do it the old school way, like I learned it. Okay. So what do we have to change this in? This mixed number, we have to change into a fraction, right? Remember we had to multiply, then add. So we have to do 3 times the whole number, which is 1. And then we have to add it to the numerator. And we have to put that all over 3. Okay, we still have this times 3/8. Okay, now 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is going to give us 4/3 times 3/8. Any questions just on that part? Ooh, I see those 1/2s coming in. Okay. Rodriguez, yes, the Don. Good, you guys. Okay, so remember. Oh, it says somebody said, what to do on the top? We can cross out. We can cross out the 3s. 3/3. Remember, that's anything divided by itself goes to a 1. Now, what do 4 and 8 have in common? They both have a 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Well, 1 times is just 1. And then we only have a 2 down here, so it's 1/2. Okay. Now, I want to show you a different way. Okay, I only seen this a couple of times, so bear with me, okay? But it was like so smooth, and I'm like, oh, I gotta stop teaching this old long way, okay? Because this is like so much time consuming. We had to remember to go times, then add. So let me show you guys a new way I just learned, okay? So this new math, let's just say it like this, that y'all kids might be seeing. When they say 1 1/3 times 3/8, well, what they do is they say, okay, I'm going to do 1 times 3/8. So I'm going to do 1 times 3/8. Okay. Then I'm going to do 1/3 times 3/8. Okay, well, what's 1 times 3/8? 1 times 3/8 is just 3/8. Okay, what can we cross out here? Put it in the chat. What can I simplify, cross cancel? Oh, thank you for getting your heart me. The 3. Yes. Okay. So y'all following. Okay. So we can cross out the 3. And that leaves us what here? Put it in the chat. What do we get right here? Would it be 1/8? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. So it would be 1/8. Well, I have the same denominator. Perfect. 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4/8. Of course, it doesn't reduce, right? It doesn't, you're not able to reduce. I mean, you have to reduce it, but it doesn't allow for cross canceling, but that's okay. We can divide by 2, and we get, oh, we should divide by 4, right? Not 2. 1/2. Okay, put it in the chat. Number 1 or number 2? Which way do you like better? Put in the chat. Let me see. 2? Okay. 1, 2 was easier. 2, 1. Yeah, it's all on like how you learned it, right? We're getting back 1 and 2. Somebody said 1, I'm old. But I just thought this was like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. I mean, they're not worried about memorizing a method, right, of changing an improper or a mixed number to an improper and then having to multiply. It's like, okay, I'm just going to multiply by 1. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, so let's go to number 2. Oh, somebody said, I don't like reducing. I get it. At the end, right? Oh, thank you for the team bracelet, ZP. Okay, which of the following is not a multiple of 4? Are you guys getting A, B, C, or D? I see CC, 23, 68, 34. Okay, all those C's flying in. Oh, thank you, ZP, for the roses. Okay, CC. So which of the factor is not a multiple? Okay. I was just working with my 5th grader. Factors and multiples. What's the difference? What is a multiple? Because if you don't understand this, you can't even begin to understand what they're asking you. What does anybody know what a multiple is? Oh, thank you for getting your heart me. Is anybody confused on what a multiple is? Let me start there. A number that multiplies evenly, a number that can be divided by the number. Wait, okay. The number that can be divided. Okay. Why I'm confused. Okay. No worries. A lot of people are. So a multiple is like your multiplication chart. Your first multiple is 4. Our second multiple, 4 times 2. Third multiple is 4 times 3. So multiples are always either equal or bigger than the number. That's how I think about multiples. So it's really like the multiplication chart. 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, and so on. Okay. So if we go 4 times 4, 16, 4 times 5, 20, 4 times 6 is 24, 4 times 7 is 28, and then 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. So if you know the multiples of 4 and you're looking for not, remember 4 is out because that's the first multiple. 12 is out because that's the third multiple. Well, 34 is not even a multiple, right? So I have to go with C. Even though I didn't go all the way up to 38, C doesn't even work because I skipped over it's 32, then 36. So that's not a multiple. Does that make sense? Yeah, so 34 is not a multiple. Yes. Oh, okay, I see it. Good. Hey, Heavenly. So what is a factor? Good. So let's talk about what's a factor. So if I said, what are the factors of 4? Those have to be the numbers that are smaller than this number. So the factors of 4 would be 1 times 4 and 2. Because 2 times 2 is 4 and 1 times 4 is 4. These are all the factors. Because 4 can divide by 4 1. I really like when I do my GED, I use Kaplan. I just love how they set up their GED book. That's by far one of the best. I mean, for my brain, I like how Kaplan breaks down their GED math. All right, so number 3. Which of the following represents the sum of the factors of 14? Okay, so we just went over what a factor versus multiple. Are you getting A, B, C, or D? Just keep on coming. Little D, you're start getting better and better each day. 5 minutes a day. Oh, somebody's preparing to take their GED? Yes. My best advice for any test taker, do not waste time on what you do not know. You do not know everything, and that's okay. You only need to know 70% or whatever percent to pass it, right? So a lot of students get so panicky because they look at the first question and their mind might go blank, especially if they failed it before and they're taking it again. That test anxiety goes up each time we fail. So my best advice to you is, well, one, if you haven't got any practice tests, go online, practice a test, put the timer on so you can practice that test anxiety. And then 2, don't waste time on what you don't know. Only focus on what you do know. It's okay to guess on some. Now, if you guessing on half of the test, don't take it. Okay, be honest. You have to be really honest with yourself. Are you guessing on more than half, 3/4? You're not ready, right? But if you're guessing on a little bit here and there, you're fine. That's normal. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm telling you guys, I had that same thing happen to me when I was trying to pass my praxis 2. You know, the one that says you could, when you're a math teacher, your high school math teacher, you have to take the praxis 2. And it's you're going to teach all the way up to calculus, or you could. When I tell you, it was hold up, I just got a whole bachelor's degree in this math. What is going on? And it was because I failed it the first time. And I was I thought I was going to pass it. And then I failed, and I was and I only failed it by a couple of points. I was okay. This has to be a mistake. Let me just go and take it again. When I tell you that test anxiety froze up my brain, and then I got myself a tutor, and he's like, Evelyn, why are you wasting time on stuff you don't know? I don't even know this. Oh, it's okay. We don't need to know it. We just need to pass. Once he said that, it lightened up my whole oh my goodness. And it totally changed the way I studied. And the next time I took it, you guys, I passed. It was thank you, Jesus. I needed to hear that. And I don't think we talk about that enough. And I really wish people would. So I see you guys saying the answer is D. All right, let's go. Okay, so which of the following represents the sum of factors? Ooh, tried to throw us off there. The sum of factors of 14. Well, can we list what are the factors of 14? Put it in the chat. What are the factors? 7 and 2. Yes, I could tutor your third grader. I start at third grade and up. 2 and 7. Good. 1, 2, 7, 14. Good. 1, 14, 2, and 7. Beautiful, you guys. So really, when you think about factors, what times what gives you that number? Well, 1 times 14 and 2 times 7. Now, we have to understand what sum means. Sum means add. So let's add these. So we get 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 1 is 10. Well, 14 plus 10, 24. D. D is our answer. If you are looking for tutoring, you guys can email me at impactmath19@gmail.com. And then if you're looking for this replay, tomorrow this should go up. To yesterday's, I'm putting up today, later tonight, okay? And then this should go up tomorrow. Okay. All right. Let's keep it pushing, shall we? Okay, so we got some order of operations thing happening here, huh? Does anybody know what this means? What are these things? Oh, you too, Art World. Absolute value. Let's go, T. Yes, absolute. Good. So if we know that, we're going to start within our parentheses. A negative times a negative. That is a positive. So 6 plus 5 gets us 11. Okay. We got this absolute value times 3 we didn't use. And we got this 14 minus. Okay. The absolute value of 11 is 11. Because absolute value means anything that's in it comes out positive. Okay, that's what absolute value means. But we still have to drop down this minus sign. Well, remember, multiplication comes before subtraction. So 11 times 3 is going to give us 33. We have this negative, and we have 14. What is my answer? Thank you, the Don. A. Good, you guys. Yes. Even if I didn't know, let's just say I'm terrible at integers, right? But I do know this one thing. I have to take the sign of the bigger number, always. So since this 33 is negative, my answer has to be negative. Well, they only gave us one with a negative. This time, we circle it and we move on. Don't even waste time like subtracting that, because there's only one answer that's negative. Thank you, ZP, for the rose. Thank you. Thank you, Don, for sharing the live. So I do know this? Yeah, you know this. Yes, you do. And then remember, this is like you started off with $14 and you spent $33. Before that bank draft hit, you better put 19 in it. Make it 0. All right, let's go to number 2, y'all. If 5R minus 5S equals 35, then what is the value of R minus S? What y'all get for this? A, B, C, or D? Thank you, Heavenly, for double tapping. Thank you, love. D, final answer. I love it. Oh, y'all all getting D for this. Okay, I see A. All right. We want R minus S. R minus S. Well, if we want R by itself, how can we get R by itself? What operation do we have to do to get R by itself? Can you put it in the chat? Oh, I see. Rose said C. Divide. Simmer next door. Hey, hon. Yes, divide. Well, what can we divide by, though? Remember, we want the R minus S. That's what we're looking for. So what can we divide by? 5, 5, 5. Yes. So if I divide each one of these, because what I do to one, I have to do to everything. Well, 5 divided by 5, that gets me R. Minus 5 divided by 5, that's going to leave me with S. Equals, what's 35 divided by 5? Seven. Let's go. Siete. Yes, 7. You have me reading some Spanish there. I love it. I was like, do I remember my numbers in Spanish? Yes, C. I probably murdered it though when I said it. Laugh it out, B. Yes. R minus S equals 7. And so that's what the value has to be. Yeah, there is enough information though. Yep. Oh, thank you. All right, so let's go to number 3, y'all. Okay. We got some order of operations. Remember, we're gonna do what's inside the parentheses. So what do I get when I combine this? Put it in the chat. When I just combine these two numbers, what do I get? -2. Good. Yes. I mean, technically, I guess you can distribute, but we, in order of operations, we want to do the parentheses first. So we want to do -2. Then we're going to drop down that +1. And we have this 5 on the outside. Okay. I'll just bring everything down. 2/3 times. We can do here 7 minus 1 is 6. -2 plus 1. -1. Somebody owes you $2. They say, hey, I got $1 for you. They still gonna owe you 1. Okay. So 5 times a -1 gets us a -5. Plus, what do we get when we take 2/3 of 6? Does anybody know? Good, the Don. Mrs. B said 3, question mark. Okay. Iris said 4. Heavenly said 2. Tony said 2. It's Kimmy said 9. Okay, so at every whole number, we can put what under it? What number can I put underneath this 6 to make it into a fraction? Good. So checkmark said, wouldn't you put the 1? Yes. So if I write this as 2/3 times 6/1, I can cross simplify here. I can divide this by 3 and divide this by 3. Even if you don't want to cross simplify, 2 times 6, right, will give us 12. 3 times 1 will give us 3. Well, what's 12 divided by 3? 4. But if you want to cross simplify, this will give you 1. This will give you 2. And 2 times 2 gets you 4. So either way will work. Now, so what's my final answer here? Yes, let's go. Sheena, -1. Makeup. Yes, -1. Remember, we're adding here. So somebody owes you $5. They paid you $4. They still owe you $1. Perfect. All right, good. Okay, now, of course, we cannot do no GED math without having some ratios and proportions on it. I mean, you got to have, the GED test will have some of these on them. Okay, so remember, this is for the GED. Anita made 28 necklaces in 8 hours. How many necklaces did Anita make in an hour? All right. Divide. Okay, let's do it. So if I'm dividing this, how many times can 8 go into 28? $3.5. Yes. 3. 3 times 8 is 24. We subtract and we get 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay. And then if we wanted to make it a decimal, right, we would add a 0, drop down, put it. Okay. And then if we wanted to make it a decimal, right, we would add a 0, drop down, put it.